Did you know that Thomas Edison did not invent the light bulb? What? But Thomas Edison was the greatest inventor of all time. Or was he? And if Edison didn't invent the light bulb, then who truly invented the light bulb? For people in the 19th century, Thomas Alva Edison was a wizard. His inventiveness was an embodiment of Arthur C. Clarke's famous and often overused quote, "Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic." In fact, after his invention of the phonograph in 1877, he became known as the Wizard of Menlo Park. Over his life, Thomas Edison acquired an astounding 1,093 patents for various technological innovations. Among these patents were 389 for electric light and power, 150 for the telegraph, 195 for the phonograph, 149 for storage batteries, and 34 for the telephone. As for his detractors, they believed Edison's greatest and only true invention was his perfectly crafted image. What is history's verdict? Neither is necessarily true. Edison's contributions to society are equally great and controversial. Some of his 1,000-plus inventions have gone on to shape our lives. However, he is not the saint of science that some of our school teachers taught us in grade school.
Come on, I know it seems hard, but we can't just give up. I mean, what if Thomas Edison had given up?
What's that? What's that thing you're working on?
Well, it's a light bulb and—
A light bulb! Light bulb! I invented that. Me! I'm Thomas Edison. I invented the light bulb. What's it do?
it lights up a room using electrical—
Lights up a room using electrical stuff. I was about to say that because I invented it. What are you working on?
It's a phonograph.
Phonograph! I knew that because I invented it. I'm Thomas Edison. I rule!
Look it up. Edison was a—
So, let's take a look at some of the inventions Edison might have stolen. The electric chair. Thomas Edison didn't invent the electric chair, but one of his workers did. Edison promoted the chair, so he became associated with its origins. In the 1980s, Edison's employee, Harold P. Brown, came up with a design based on George Westinghouse's design, which used alternating AC current. Edison favored direct current and even consulted Tesla about how best to use electricity, but dismissed his advice to use alternating current in his own work.
Mr. Edison, we're going to use your invention to power the world. And Mr. Tesla, we're going to use yours in the background of Frankenstein movies.
Oh, I wanted that one.
Despite publicly criticizing George Westinghouse's invention for being brutal and denouncing capital punishment as a whole, Edison continued to fund Brown's invention. Brown and Edison executed countless animals as they attempted to prove electrocution was more humane than hanging, which led to New York State adopting the electric chair in 1890. The X-ray. Edison gets credit for the fluoroscope. This was a device which first made X-rays possible. Needless to say, the use of X-rays has been a huge boon to medical science. The distribution of these devices added to Thomas Edison's growing wealth. The problem is that the actual inventor of a device to see the bones of a human was a German scientist named Wilhelm Röntgen. He took an X-ray of his wife's hand several years prior to Edison's fluoroscope. If people confuse this mistaken time gap, Edison was more than happy not to correct the error and essentially padded his bank account at Röntgen's expense. The phonograph. Another concept Edison is given credit for is creating devices for recording speech and other forms of sound.
The first words I spoke in the original phonograph, a little piece of practical poetry. Mary had a little lamb, its fleece was white as snow, and everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go.
A French printer and bookseller named Edward Leon Scott de Martinville created this phonograph more than 15 years before Edison's 1877 invention of the phonograph. Again, Thomas Edison made no mention of de Martinville when marketing his own device. Motion picture. Thomas Edison received a patent for his kinetograph in the 1890s. after building upon the work of the still-life photographers Joseph Nicephone and Louis Daguerre, as well as the first motion camera made by Edward Muybridge in 1877. Edison also oversaw the invention of the kinetoscope, a peephole motion picture viewer. Most of the work on the kinetoscope was carried out by William Dickinson, one of Edison's assistants, in 1888. In 1890, Louis Le Prince, a French artist, was taking a trip to patent his invention on his motion camera in England, and then would sail to America to exhibit and patent it. He got on a train on September 13, 1890, and nobody ever saw him again. His luggage vanished as well. Le Prince's family continued with the patent quest. Unfortunately, in 1892, 2 years after testifying in a lawsuit against Thomas Edison, someone shot and killed the son in Fire Island, New York. Sadly, investigators never caught the assailant. A pirated movie. It is possible that Edison may have had nothing to do with the Le Prince puzzles, but there is no doubt his business dealings were questionable. One story goes that when filmmaker George Méliès' masterpiece, A Trip to the Moon, was spreading like wildfire throughout London, Edison obtained a copy from a shady theater owner, then made numerous copies and took them back to America with him. He showed the pirated film across the USA and reaped huge amounts of money by showing the film, and Méliès didn't get a cent from these showings. When Méliès finally arrived in America to show the film at a great personal cost, everybody had seen it already. This caused Méliès an enormous financial loss that may have directly led to his infamous bankruptcy. And last but not least, the light bulb. Precursors to the modern light bulb were in the works in Italy and England as early as 1800. Alessandro Volta and Humphrey Davy developed ways to generate electricity and arcs of light, and the first glowing lamp using electricity was created by a British chemist named Joseph Swan. Swan was experimenting with carbon filaments in the 1850s and 60s, attempting to make a light bulb. He just couldn't generate enough of a vacuum. More effective pumps to remove air became available in the 1870s, and in 1879 he debuted a working light bulb in a lecture in Newcastle. Although Swan had invented the first working light bulb, the light produced lasted only long enough for a demonstration, but not for commercial use. Edison improved upon it in the 1870s, changing the type of filament used to a thinner and more resistant one, ensuring it didn't burn up as quickly. With this, he was able to create light bulbs that burned from 150 hours up to 600 hours. He was thus credited with the invention of the first practical light bulb.
Look at Edison over there with his damn electricity. Hey, Edison! How about sharing some of those light bulbs, huh?
Hey, figure it out for yourself, man!
We're freezing our off over here!
Hey, man, how do you think I feel? You know, you get to look at my great house, I gotta look at that dark thing. Huh? Hey, what is that, a candle over there? Oh, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's a candle. We're freezing over here. We have none of my family's taken a bath in a month. We stink. It stinks over here, you jerk.
I can't hear you over my central
Hey,
heating,
what do you go
man.
to hell, Edison?
Hey, bite me, man. Hey, you guys seen The Office? Oh, no, I guess you haven't because you don't have a TV.
Hey, how about I come over there and kick your
Ooh, yeah, come on over.
There is no question that Thomas Edison was a brilliant man, and some of his 1,000+ inventions have shaped our lives.
What do you think of the Einstein theory?
I don't think anything of Einstein's theory because I can't understand it.
Although Thomas Edison should certainly receive accolades for the significant amount of contributions he made to the modern technological world, it is clear he was not necessarily the most ethical and honest man. He was a highly intelligent man who took the foundation of others' work and transformed it into something amazing. As much as we recognize those who gave Edison a leg up, their names will never hold the rights to the patents. If you liked our video, don't forget to subscribe and follow our channel for more videos like this one.